Good evening. Good evening, Starfarers. We are coming to you live from the Opal Sector, where the stars are bright and the asteroids are anomalous. The weather outside is a balmy negative 455 degrees, with a high chance of gamma ray bursts in the early to mid-afternoon. Let's lengthen the weekend together, everyone. Welcome to Tales from an Infinite Verse.
One of them's not here.
We're in. Now they can see us. Hello!
Yay!
Yay!
Hello.
Welcome, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Good.
Ro and Halcyon already have advantage. Telon, you're out of luck, I guess. As usual, I need to figure out more ways to use channel points because y'all have too much advantage to give out. But welcome back. First off, I want to thank everyone for your patience, both for starting tonight and also for missing the 2 weeks ago. Life happens sometimes, you know? So it's been 4 weeks, and you might think, oh, Josh, it's been 4 weeks. Certainly you've had time to update the recap document. Well, have I got a secret for you? No. I'll get to it. Okay, and Hill just gave you advantage, Ethan. So now everyone on screen has advantage. As you may notice, Halifax is not with us. Our fearless captain was not able to make it. They got called into work stuff because, again, life is a thing. Also, Treble Gal, thank you for the sub at tier 1. We're much appreciated. I feel we got a good chat hanging out tonight. Thanks for all coming, guys. We're gonna get to some adventures. I'm not gonna delay any longer. Let's get into a recap since I did not update the document. If you want a recap of like everything that's been going down, you can type !recap in the chat. It will link you to the recap document, and it will give you the kind of rundown of everything that's led up to this point, including characters and NPCs. You'll hear a lot of names and terms flung around that I used to take the time to define every time, and now I just don't because it slows down the game too much. So that's a great resource for you, but I'm going to recap what happened 4 weeks ago when we last played, so we can dive right in. 4 weeks ago... The crew of the Freya which is your ship, had landed. I don't know why I felt the need to clarify that the Freya is your ship. Landed on a planet that appears to be an endless scrapyard. It's a huge scrap heap, or so you thought until the ship was abducted by an underground civilization of people that are a whole mix of just people from all over the verse. Who have made a civilization down there, salvaging scrap from ships that land on their planet, and otherwise is sort of getting by in what appears to be a sort of interesting, like, socialist society. The species down under the planet are primarily 3 primary species: mole people, the hybrid, just like various, just like mixed race folks who are just because whatever, anything goes. And Calasti, the cat people, the cat folk, are abundant down here. The gravity controlling cats that are the Calasti. Dan, I'm so mad at you. I'm closing the chat now. Bye, chat. Closing the chat so I don't get distracted. My nightly ritual. Actually, I don't know if we have a moderator here, so I do think I need to keep it open. I'll just try my best to be responsible. We have that, and the crew right now is sort of, now that you've settled in a little bit and no one's in direct danger, everyone is sort of going and doing their own thing. There were some misunderstandings in the medical facility in the hospital where Halcyon was posted up and Halcyon got bodied, but he's okay now. Ro has been in communication with Skyvo, who I called Skypo a lot last time, who is the kind of main mole person who seems to speak on behalf of them, and is currently down with a new friend that he has just recently met, named
Esnog.
Esnog. Thank you, Esnog. I think that's Nog with a G, at least according to my notes.
Oh.
Like eggnog, but Ez. who seems to speak some broken Lurin being the language you all speak, and is currently seeking out an organic brain for a robot that he's working on with some others, which he seemed pretty confident you'll be able to find while spelunking in some caves down below. So you're going even deeper into the planet to find that. Meanwhile, Halcyon is exploring the planet with the doctor he had a little misunderstanding with, Dr. Mech, kind of big old doctor, who once the misunderstanding got sorted, was fine. He has the translator right now. Most of these people don't speak your language. He has a translator, so he can. And you're just sort of exploring things and seeing what they're doing. And Talon, speaking of translators, has been working on his own translators. That said, Talon, you will also have some more time to sort of get involved in things if you would like to, because the translators are going to take their time, of course, but we don't want to leave you out doing nothing. So, let's dive in. Let me start with some music. And let me start with Halcyon. Halcyon.
Me.
Hang on. We're good. Just gonna get
Sure.
some water. Yep, so good.
Okay.
As a note,
Cheers.
I posted the link to our character sheets
yes.
in our private chat.
Sweet. If someone would like to share that to the Twitch chat, so any viewers at home could follow along. So we are... Oh, sorry, one last thing. We are currently alpha testing Uncharted Worlds 2. Uncharted Worlds is the game we started playing. Uncharted Worlds 2 is the sequel that is being worked on by your very own Sean Gomes or VaTze. So we are... we're happy to be here. That's all I have to say about that. I'm genuinely very excited about it. So those are the character sheets. If you want to follow along with the rules or the characters, that is a great place to do it. Alrighty. So, Halcyon. You and Dr. Mech are kind of walking through the city. And he's showing you around various things. Most of it is sort of like, oh, here's where I go to eat, like one of my favorite places to eat, and here's like a nice view, and it's like showing you these kind of like larger, like there's these huge cliffs that kind of go down into the distance below with just like glowing fungi all down them, kind of like providing this bioluminescence around the place. And it's sort of showing you around. Is there anything specifically you're looking for, or are you just trying to be like social and make a friend right now?
I think the main point right now is to just be social, make a friend,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
Sure. You're walking with Dr. Mech then, and he is speaking through the translator, and he's just saying, yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to life down here, and things like the misunderstanding with us do happen more often than not, just because, especially with some of the Calasti, they get bored pretty easily. I don't personally ascribe to the whole pranking each other thing, but, you know, these things happen. But there's plenty to do. I mean, we're always doing research. It's just like anywhere else in space. I was really put off when I first got here because my whole thing was medical research, and I wanted to, like, further the medical field. But then I realized there's things down here that they don't have out in the rest of space because they can focus on just one planet instead of the entirety of the universe. So there's lots of really interesting sort of, I guess you could call them medical professionals down here. I'm not sure if the translator's quite catching my meaning on that one, but...
No, I think it is. Speaking of things that exist here and nowhere else, I believe Skypo gave me these medical syringes, or maybe it was you, I don't remember. This was so long ago that this happened.
Yeah, it feels like 4 weeks. Weird.
I know, right? Time is fuzzy. But I just got some of these syringes of this, like, fungal remedy.
Yeah, the mushrooms here are insane. There's not really a better word for it. And again, I'm just sort of doing my best with the words here. But it's insane. Things here are... The fungus here is an incredible source of life. and really, like, I feel like it was kind of always has been, even before the scrappers took root here. The underground, there's mushrooms for just about anything. There's mushrooms. Since it is the main plant life here, it really evolved this incredibly diverse this sort of group. So when you say medical syringes, that could be anything. I could identify them for you if you want me to, but
yes, please, and I'll pull one out and show it to him.
He takes a look at them and goes, yeah, this is just standard stuff. The main sort of quality that most of the mushrooms share is sort of picking up on what's happening around them and kind of trying to adapt to it. And so you find different levels and types of that, and what you do is, if you put it in a brain, it picks up on the way the neural pathways are supposed to be flowing based on the rest of the brain. So if there's a bruise, and it can sort of just undo that and sort of correct it to the right thing. It really speeds up the healing process. Does come with some interesting side effects, given the fact that it's not rewriting your neural pathways, but it is sort of, it does have to basically mess around with your brain. So people have often associated it with the worse the injury, typically, the crazier it gets in there. People have had some pretty profound visions. A lot of people use it for spiritual stuff too. But the thing is, these syringes only work if you are injured, or otherwise they won't do anything.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, there's plenty more things like that are just, again, these things are capable of incredible things if you know how to use them. And we've really put a lot of time and research into it.
Insane.
I know other people who do like this. My main thing is making sure people are well. The research of the fungi is not actually my area of expertise. I know some people who it is, if you're interested in meeting them.
We're of the same mind. I'm much more interested in healing people than, studying fungi, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to meet them. I do have some questions, because this sort of thing would be phenomenal, in the outside world, for lack of a better phrase.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you can see him sort of like twitch a little bit as you say that, as you hit the nerve of that thing where everyone here has accepted that this is where they live now. And he says, yes, yeah, it would. Come on. I'll take you to meet Dr. Linto. She's pretty intense, but she also speaks your language really well, so we should at least be able to have a conversation without need of translators. And he leads you off to meet this other doctor. As you approach, you're kind of, again, making your way through. You round a corner at one point, and like the massive sprawling cliffs become like a sort of tunnel, like dug, sort of like almost like labyrinthine maze where there's suddenly no outside view. It really does feel like an inside-outside, even though you're always underground. They've really made it feel like its own little world. And you're now on the sort of inside like tunnels. You begin to make your way down. And you get to this kind of like heavy, like you're walking past like, oh, like some like nice like stone doors, like kind of thin like decorative like lattice work done on them to like make them like look very homey, and some like metal stuff. And you walk past up to these like heavy metal blast doors, and from inside you hear like gunfire going off, and he stops and goes, yeah, this is the place. And he just sort of knocks on the heavy metal blast doors. And there's a moment of pause. There's a moment of like continued gunfire, and then everything goes silent, and you just hear, "One sec," and the doors disengage and open to let you in. We are going to cut away from you for a moment, and we'll come back to you in a little bit, Halcyon. You guys. Yeah.
Before we continue, I just wanted to point out that a couple of times I heard you hitting one of your voice mods. It has not had any effect on your voice.
No.
If you were planning on a voice mod, it did not work.
I was planning on a voice mod, and I bet I know why it didn't work.
Womp womp.
No, I just
Is
figured,
that better? Is that voice modded?
Nope.
Nope.
Really?
No.
How about that?
There we go.
There you go.
Awesome. Cool. There were 2 things wrong, and now I fixed them both. Oh, well. It wasn't that deep. It was just, like, muffled through a translator. Oh, and actually, let me go ahead and flip that setting. Cool. Okay. Ro, you are traveling with Esnog. As you guys make your way sort of lower in these caverns as well. You, as I've pointed out, have seen a lot of, like, depth to this place, but this is the first time you get to what appears to be the bottom of the civilized space.
Right.
This place doesn't seem to have, like, an ocean or anything like that. Where they get their water from is currently alien to you. But you do get to this kind of, like, ground level where there's just like kind of like big thick like stone platforms with like metal built over them to make like a floor for the whole place. Esnog brings you over past sort of a crowd of people to a big like hatch that you don't need to read their native tongue to see that like there's signs on it like saying like warning and danger and things like that. And he goes over, punches a code into the hatch, it kind of opens up. And he grabs these 2 like climbing gear kits and hands one out to you.
Nod to him and check the climbing gear kit. Is this like standard stuff? Is this the same that I have in my own survey kit, or?
If your survey kit comes with like stuff for like navigating and climbing, then yes, it's same level.
Oh yeah, no, actually, no. The survey kit is more mapping stuff. This isn't like a explorer's kit. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's not like ropes and spikes. This is like anti-grav emergency thrusters and like magnet clamps and like it's stuff that it's high-tech climbing stuff.
Right. So he took this bag from like what, like
there's like
area?
there's like on this next to this hatch there's like it's like think of going to a water park, that place where they stack up the tubes, you know what I'm talking about, just like dangling just like on hooks for anyone who wants to take them. They're just there.
All right, so Ro is going to unclip and unshoulder his survey kit because you can't carry multiple kits at the same time.
Yeah, they're big and heavy.
Could collapse under the weight. So hang up my survey kit and put on the climbing kit instead, and be like, you know, if anybody else is around, just kind of like keep an eye on this look. You know, the look, you know, just like...
yeah, you give that. There's like a human just kind of meandering about. You give them that look, and they kind of and they, as you are beginning your descent, we just see them like rummaging through your pack, just looking at it.
Fine.
No, look after it, not look in it.
Yeah.
And
different societies, yeah.
Once you get a feel for it, it's a pretty straightforward climbing thing. And he could, Esnog sort of goes first, leads the way, and you guys make your way down into the caverns below.
All right.
His sort of like headlamp springs to life, as yours does too, like I assume. And you guys kind of begin surveying around. You see that this place is in fact much deeper than just what they have built down to. As for why they haven't started building down here, you aren't sure. Maybe they just want to leave it natural. Maybe it's something else. But you are making your way, kind of descending, like almost like rappelling down a wall for probably a solid 50 meters or so.
Okay.
Before you finally hit another ground level, where you're sort of in this like kind of slightly angled rock cliff that kind of goes down before more darkness below. You see dots of light down below in the distance. But otherwise, you can't make out a lot of details unless you're like actually looking at it.
Right. I'm going to ask him. It's like, how often do you come down here?
Sometimes.
You know the way down, right? Like
Yes. Oh no, know the way very well. And as
part of me is like mostly to myself is like wondering if I'm going to make it out of here with both my kidneys. And part of me is absolutely wanting to go in on this because this is where Ro shines. This is where he wants to be, is exploring, you know, the deep or the vast or whatever forgotten spaces. Although, he's slightly disappointed that, this is somewhere that the guy has gone to many times before, or at least a few times before, so it's not undiscovered. But
are you voicing any of this, or is this just internal monologue?
This is just mostly internal monologue.
Gotcha.
It's just like there's a little bit of hesitancy, and then he's gonna follow him.
Sure. So you follow this man sort of along the cliffs, and for about like 5-10 minutes or so, it's just sort of jumping from place to place. It's not really anything special. And then he hits a certain point, and he goes, and you see like there's like electric fencing sort of up. There's like these big like metal posts with like electricity like crackling every once in a while between them. He puts another key thing, kind of shuts down so you guys can kind of step through. And he goes, "Okay, here." A little dangerous. Little danger. Little.
How do you have all these codes?
Everyone has codes.
Everyone has the codes to all
You
the
want
defenses.
codes? You want codes? You ask codes. You get codes. You want codes?
I pull out my data pad. All right, what are the codes?
Codes. He gives you the codes. The codes. He actually gives you just the one code. It seems to be the same one for both of those things.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
He goes, codes. Just know,
Right, well, thank you.
Know who come. Yeah?
Sure.
But
Fair enough.
also, little danger. Watch for people. Watch for people. Shh.
What kind of people?
And people. Any people shouldn't be here. He like shows you a little like data pad on his thing and goes, "We are only 2. Other people, shh."
Interesting.
And he continues.
I was expecting creatures or something. I say to him, but hush, of course.
Creatures, people. He points to as you're kind of walking again. There's the occasional dot of like a glowing mushroom on the wall. He points to one of those. He goes, He points to it and he gives their word for whatever that is, and he looks to you.
Do they eat that, or is that the creature?
Creature. No, what is? He points at the
fluorescent fungus.
Fungus. Fungus learn. People come down. Do. Whoop, slip, dead. Fungus find and go, well, make better. No, make better.
Okay. All right. So pull up my data pad again and start taking notes. Take some notes for myself. Alrighty. I know of several biologists and medical professionals who would absolutely love to come here if they were allowed to leave again. Slide that back into my head.
He goes, fungus, not bad. Fungus just learn. Fungus find and use. Find broken brain, use broken brain. But find fungus, take the computer, learn computer, become brain.
I see. You want... Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Shh, it's fine. Little danger. Shh. Fungus slow sometimes.
We're walking while I'm talking to him. I shake my cane at him. I'm like, I swear you owe me big time if we are going to make some sort of fungus robot zombie. All right?
Fuck it. Zombie. What is this zombie? What is zombie? Zombie? Name for robot? Robot named Zombie? Good name.
Zombie is term for organic creature that is dead but still moving around by other thing controlling.
That's slow. You like are losing him with the technical stuff. His grasp of language is small still.
Right. Living thing, dead. Dead keeps walking after.
Fungus.
We're making a zombie. Fantastic.
Zombie. Oh, See, he points forward. He goes, people. Yeah.
Zombies.
Zombie.
Yes.
Zombie.
Yes.
Robot, not zombie.
Yeah.
Understand.
I'm like, I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
That's a philosophical disagreement.
You guys continue to make your way through the darkness, and at a certain point, he does sort of like stop talking, just as you get kind of deeper in, and he sort of stops you at one point, and you guys kind of survey ahead. You see, thank you for the subscription. You see ahead, the caves are like kind of close up a little bit, and you see what appears to be like a big like sort of door down here made of metal, like a hatch, like a circular metal hatch, sort of blocking the corridor ahead. And he just sort of looks at it and goes, broken last time, fix now. Zombies fix?
Wait, what?
Zombies fix.
They can fix the things down here?
Fungus make brain. They fix. It knows brain. Knows brain well.
So you're saying if an engineer gets taken over, they can still do engineering?
Depends on brain. Brain usually not full, but brain depends on time, depends on damage. Get shot in brain, useless.
We are going to have to make sure that nothing leaves this planet, apparently.
He sort of heads over to makes his way over carefully to the door and just kind of like watching, like at this point, like taking the wall, watching his step, almost like he's expecting some sort of trouble. Sort of making his way over.
I have my stun baton, like, up, clutched like a club.
Mm-hmm. You guys make your way across. As you do, he gets over to the door. There's a little, like, kind of keypad. He punches in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever the code is, and it gives a... He goes, different way?
Let me try. I'm wondering how much they've actually messed with this. I'm going to see if I can't. I don't have my computer kit with me. Rats. Can I like assess the system, see if it's something that's like going to be hard for me to unlock?
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a Seek Solutions.
All right. Using hardware or mind, is this going to be is this more of a mechanical lock, or is this a keypad thing?
It's a keypad, so this can be a mind roll. This is, yeah.
That's a 4 and a 6 plus my 2, so that is a 12.
This system, this is something it's relatively primitive, all things considered, especially compared to some of the stuff that's up above. So yeah, you can absolutely get in and try to figure this out. Let's let me actually follow the rules here. You can absolutely get through it, but you get to choose what stands in the way. So you have that list in front of you. But for our viewers at home, that's a harmful, unpleasant location, a questionable, unsavory act, a hostile, interposing guardian, or your burden, or someone else's.
All right, I am going to go with a. I think a hostile, interposing guardian is probably going to be the easiest. Up to you, whether it's going to be the keypad itself or another thing.
Absolutely. So what you gather while looking at the system is you could like run just a quick like tap a few buttons and have like run a backdoor thing, get in, force a failsafe. This is, again, it's very simple. You trip a few wires, you're done here. But that will come with an alarm, so to speak. You don't know what kind of alarm, but someone or something will be alerted of your presence when you do that, which you have to imagine means it's going to be resistance of some kind.
I'm going to turn to him and just say, how dangerous are they when alerted?
Little.
How hostile are we talking? Because I can open this, but they'll know that we opened it.
Some, not hostile. Little danger. Some,
okay.
Crazy. Depends on brain.
Oh.
But brain, when dying, typically scared. So fungus finds scared brain, becomes scared. Some people die suddenly. No fear.
All right. Ever
Depends.
forward, ever learning. I take my shock baton, apply it judiciously to the to the system, and say to him, "There's a fail-safe in case these things get a power surge that it doesn't lock people in. This is a very common internal starship system. So strike it, give it a good jolt of power, have the whole system reset." Have it reset at like 88888 as it's as the code.
That happens. You hear.
And of course, it bleeps that it's been reset. So yeah.
Yeah, you hear a, and you hear a, and like a dying alarm. That's like there was not a lot of power to go around here in the first place, so the alarm just goes off very quickly and then fades before it can like get too loud. And he goes.
Right, I point him to the other side of the hatch because obviously we need to actually pull this thing open. It's unlocked, but there's no power for the actuators. So.
You open that hatch and kind of taking a look through it, you see what appears to be like an underground bunker that's been built here. There's like metal like hallways and everything like that. It appears to be a place that either was built a long time ago or you shudder to think built by these fungus zombies. So, and you see this kind of corridor going forward, and as the thing opens, you see like there's a turret like hanging from the ceiling, which is like spluttering and flickering. Also, again, very low on power. But there's also no light in here, and kind of shining your headlamp down, you see a figure, sort of. You can't quite make out their details other than that they're humanoid, but you can see like the eyes glow like the fungus you've seen on the walls with these kind of like blue glow to them. So you can see these two like dotted eyes in the distance of someone and like their silhouette and nothing else.
Look at my baton and I'm like, I really had to give up a ranged weapon, didn't I? So it looks nice, but
You good shot? Good with gun?
oh, definitely not.
Oh,
But the advantage of ranged weapons is that all the violence happens way over there. All right.
he kind of looks at the thing and he looks at you. No seem danger. Little danger. Be slow,
Right.
be nice.
I'm gonna move forward slowly. Take on the appropriate posture for meeting what is essentially a native.
Mm-hmm. Gonna start to move forward, and he whispers as you go. He goes, "If take fungi for brain, can't kill fungi, can't kill brain. Kill brain, fungi useless. Take fungi from brain, already knows brain. Understand?"
So we have to find a fungus that hasn't taken a brain yet?
No. Must find fungus that has taken brain, not kill that brain. Pull fungus.
Whoa. I turn around. First off, I'm not a medical professional. I just want to make that clear. Secondly, these things are sentient. They're alive. They're capable of complicated manual tasks. I'm not going to just rip a brain out so that we can put it into a fungus. If it was a uncultured fungus, fine, it's a plant. We use those all the times, but I don't know about this.
Fungus not die. You no kill fungus. We take fungus. It is growing process.
Does it want to be part of your robot?
Fungus simply copy. Copy it, learn, it grow. Fungus want to grow.
I give him a sidelong look, like, this smells unethical. Believe me, I can smell unethical like a shark can smell blood in the water.
Unethical, no understand. Sorry.
I agree. Yeah, you don't understand.
As you guys are having this like kind of quiet conversation, he even like kind of chuckles a little bit, just kind of chuckles at that as you guys are bantering. And this creature, whatever it is, begins to make its way towards you.
I'm going to put one hand out and be like, stop right there. We can talk. Can you talk?
Continues advancing.
I said stop. I, like, do physical gestures to be like, stop and keep my cane up and, like, crackling.
You have physically that up. Go ahead. No, we're not going to roll yet. As he's very calm next to you, watching how you're going to handle the situation, and just sort of leans over and goes, "Language fade quickly. Usually, forget language."
Thank you for telling me that. I say out of the corner of
some language, little danger.
All right, fine.
As it comes more into the light of your headlamp, I'm going to describe it, and then we're going to cut away because we have other things. I like cliffhangers. But what we see is this creature that has sort of been not covered in mushrooms, but you see like the place where mushrooms have had influence. But the like, oh, they're sentient thing is a nice thought, and then you see it and they're like, oh no, zombie was a good word for this. Because the body itself has decayed and deteriorated. It is moving with kind of lurching, like, because of rigor mortis motions, it's very stiff. It appears that this was a Ellorah at one point, which gives a certain uncomfortableness to their differently colored glowing eyes to the Ellorah's usual gold. And you can see how they died because it's not subtle. This one, it was like there's like a big hole like up through their chest and out their shoulder. It looks like it was probably like fell while climbing and then like had like landed on like stalagmite, which means they probably died in pain and afraid because they didn't die immediately. And now this kind of like gaunt, like lurching fungal thing is coming at you. You can only see at the very back of its head the kind of like cap of some sort of mushroom that's sort of like latched onto it, and it just kind of is kind of lurching more towards you as this kind of goes on. And we're gonna cut away. Come back to that in a moment.
Did you make zombie toad, Josh?
Not intentionally.
I mean, there are more human fungal hybrid references that you can make rather than Toad from Mario Brothers, but
okay.
The fact that the cap is right there on the
head. Fungus learned brain. Anyway, so Talon, you have been working on translators for a bit, and you've got the work done needed to have at least one functioning one. And the designs to do more with the correct materials. So what do you want to do with your time here on this planet?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay.
So we get off as soon as possible, but there's so much tech around to explore. But I also want to get out of here as soon as possible.
So are you just chilling on the ship, or are you wandering looking for like potential ways out?
I will wander, because the idea was that if I could come up with a new translator thing for them and ways to build more, that will be our payment to get out of here.
Okay.
That was my intention. If I can go around and scout out anything that could make it better.
Okay, yeah. So you're just kind of looking for other like technical upgrades you could use.
Yes.
So I know we've already rolled a cramped quarters for you. Let's also roll a shore leave at this point.
Okay.
Because that kind of feels like the route we're taking. Shore leave, for those who are following the rules, the cramped quarters and shore leave are two things that kind of happen varying. It's kind of a downtime activity, which each come with their own set of benefits and dangers with them as well.
That's a 9.
A 9.
I have to add anything to it.
Gotcha. I do not believe so. I get to choose one from the list above, which is either recover, befriend a local or make contact, get a lead on an ongoing interest, or discover a local opportunity. And I will choose one, and you can spend a credit if you would like to choose one as well.
I don't remember how many creds I have. I don't have it on my sheet.
You may be broke. Yeah, I think you might be broke because I remember there was a bet that was made with Halifax that left Halifax rich. I'm looking at Halifax's sheet and going, oh, right, 7. Because you guys were betting what the doctor wanted to talk to you about, and you both bet a cred.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, Halifax has all of our money. That's why I don't have any either. Yep.
That's right.
If you want to ask Halifax for a cred, I don't feel bad giving one of Halifax's creds to you, especially if it means helping to find a way off of this place.
Can I borrow a cred, Halifax?
You ask Halifax if you can borrow a cred, and just get a... For what?
To help us get off this planet, of course.
Then yes. Okay, great. I'm going to immediately navigate off of the character sheet page so I stop erasing things. I don't think I did any permanent damage this time. Sean, I'm very serious. Please revoke my ability to edit the character sheets. It will make everyone's life easier, especially yours. So you are lent a cred. Which of those do you want to pick? Do you want me to pick first?
I would like you to pick first.
Okay. We are going to do you have any recovery that needs to be done? No, you look...
No, I do.
Do you? You don't have any stress or wounds. Oh, you can recover...
Not on me. Yeah, I could recover stuff from my gear.
I think since you're looking for tech things, it makes perfect sense for the easy stuff, which I'll give you one for free, is I will let you recover. So you can basically find an opportunity to kind of patch up the one of your things.
My pistol.
Yeah, your speeder is not currently down here. So you find a little tech shop where you can get your pistol patched up, no problem. But if anything else happens at that shop, it will depend on what you pick. So what is it you would like to choose from that list?
Get a lead on an ongoing interest. Ways to upgrade.
Escape.
Translator.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. In general, an ongoing interest. So you are rooting around the planet, and you kind of go back and forth every now and again. As you sort of kind of come out, as you come back to the ship one time, you actually hear VaTze, who's been pretty quiet for most of your work, but you hear, "Tell on, have you been out and about a lot?"
I was just about to go see if I could find something to help me spruce this project of mine up.
Got it. I was wondering if maybe I could come with you.
I don't see why not.
Okay. The flyer isn't really active, and I don't want to get in your armor after what happened last time.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna need you to be open-minded about this.
Okay. You've got me very curious now.
And also I'm choosing you for a reason. The captain's busy, and I don't want to burden him with this. But you can hold your own in a fight and getting people out of places quickly. I might need your help with that too if things get bad.
That's fair.
The plasma cloud leaves the computer console and goes to a corner where it's tucked away like a storage cabinet thing where something has clearly been waiting, and you hear the door open and a humanoid figure steps out. They are very, very frail and sickly looking. They wear kind of a loose-fitting clothing that's sort of the equivalent of hoodie and slacks to kind of cover up just as much of the body as you can. But even through that, you can see this very gaunt, 5'2" figure appears male, in almost borderline skeletal kind of features and face. their fingers are like lithe and a little bit too long for the rest of the body, and in general they just look incredibly like sickly. And the eyes are sort of like sunken into the sockets a little bit and like glossed over slightly. And just the hair is like wiry and white. But it appears to be a humanoid form. You can't really place the species. And kind of looks at you and says, "Hi, Talon."
It's a pleasure to finally meet you, VaTze.
You've met me before. This isn't any more me than anything I'm ever in. Sometimes it feels less, but
Fair.
I don't feel comfortable in technology around here. There's too many variables, and they at least seem to leave people alone.
They seem to. Let's see how well that actually turns out to be true. He
kind of walks over to you.
I heard something about fungus earlier.
He suits up as best as he can. No helmet really fits over his face, and you can tell that like he's squinting to look at everything. His vision is not very strong. The whole body looks like it looks like someone who should be on life support at all times, but he's not. And he goes, I don't need this to live. I've held on to it since I was born, but I don't need it. It's more important to me that the crew gets off of this place than anything else. So I'll help you find what you need to find. It might just mean you watching over my body if I have to jump out and into some technology and then come back.
Do my best. Is this what you were born with?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not really a lot of my kind left. Most of them evolved.
I'm more impressed that you hung on to it this whole time.
Yeah, well, it's hard to let go of the past. And he makes for the exit.
True. I'll follow close behind.
Okay. You guys make your way out and begin exploring. You are looking for more sort of tech opportunities. And the reason VaTze is able to help with this is because you've noticed there are decidedly some places that you can't get to. That it's stuff that it's like you don't know like your way around well enough, whereas VaTze can jump into a system, get a read on the whole thing, come back out and go, no, this way. And like sort of navigate you guys towards something positive or helpful. So you're looking for specifically a way to upgrade the translator.
The translator, yeah.
Cool. So you're looking for something or someone who knows tech very well.
Mm-hmm.
You continue to navigate your way through then. One moment. Cool. Lost pencil. You lost a pencil apparently. You navigate.
Oh, no.
You navigate through this place for a good long while before VaTze finally comes out of one of these little like scouting missions and says, "There's someone with like some sort of like really advanced tech lab that seems to be like hoarding a lot of really like good electronics and a lot of research. I was only in the computer for a second. He seemed to notice I was there, so I got out pretty quickly. But there's a lot of like advanced sciencey stuff in there that I think you'd make better sense of than me. If there's anything which can help with the programming of your translator, it'll be in there."
All right. Sounds like a great lead. Thank you, VaTze.
It's also something of a mainframe. So I'm going to leave my body here. If you can get it back to the ship when you're done, I'd appreciate that.
Very well.
he sits down like in a little like shady corner, goes in plasma cloud form, leaving his body behind, and jumps into a nearby like data pad that's like connected to a door or something, and vanishes.
I was about to ask if this makes his body look like it's dead, but okay.
He has led you to a little like kind of, it's this like crescent moon shaped like stone wall, and up at the top of it is like this house built on like stilts up over everything. So it's this like very like open air sort of like abode that VaTze has brought you to. You are pretty out of the way, so you don't really see much foot traffic here. It doesn't seem like anyone's going to stumble upon VaTze's body unless they're looking for it.
Okay. I will, I guess, approach the front door.
Okay, you do
Or
that.
Does it look like it's up on stilts? Does it look like it's like guarded or protected in any other way other than just being up out of the way?
No. It looks,
Okay.
all things considered, pretty well on its own.
All right.
There's only really the one way to approach it, except for Calasti, and there's plenty of Calasti here who could just like climb the sides and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go through the front door.
You go to the front door. Are you knocking or just trying to open it?
I will knock.
Okay. You little paw.
Or look for a doorbell or something.
Yeah, there's a doorbell. In a society that's like half Calasti, there would be doorbells. They're not going to little scratching posts. You, as soon as you ring the doorbell, a little security camera swivels down to look at you, does a quick scan, door opens, and from inside, you hear a what do you want? And you see a kind of big, sprawling, again, like technical lab, sort of like VaTze has said, and standing there looking down at you is this like miniaturized mech suit. It's very sleek and very like lots of like curves. The joints are all covered very carefully by like curved plating, so there's like no obvious weak points anywhere. And it like has one of those big like kind of curved dome heads and a helmet with like three like night vision style goggle eyes kind of looking down at you. No apparent weapon, though it does have like claws instead of hands.
That is a very intimidating little mech you have there.
And how do you know it's a mech? How do you know this isn't just me? This isn't just who I am? What do you know?
I mean, I've seen mechs before, but you're right. I don't actually know that it's not just you.
Who sent you here? What do you want? You're new. I don't recognize you.
Yes, I am new. I'm working on a project, and I've been trying to find something to help elevate its what's the word I'm looking for? Crap.
He cuts you off anyway and says,
Is that a joke because my house is up on stilts? I don't take kindly to jokes.
No, actually, that was an unintentional faux pas on my part. Sorry. I was trying to find a way to enhance its abilities to... I'm trying to make a better translator for everyone.
Wait. Are you not speaking our language? Are you speaking Loren right now?
would you be using the translator? Actually, what I'm asking.
Sure.
Because you do have one functioning.
Yeah, I do have one functioning. Sure, just to make sure I was able to talk to whoever I need to talk to, yeah.
Did Skyville give you that?
He gave it to me to look at to see. I was hoping to see if I could make it better and make it more easily mass-produced.
You recreated my translator by looking at it?
Yes?
The robot mech suit thing kind of looks down at you for a second, and then the helmet does kind of fold upwards, and you see a like gray and black furred Calasti with like wild fur going in all directions, and just go, "That's incredible! It's incredible work."
Oh, that's incredible. That's like the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Damn right it is. Hops out of it, it closes up again. And he goes, how long did it take you to... How long... You came in on that new ship, right? The class
Yes.
2?
Yes.
And you recreated a translator in that time?
What, like it's hard?
He does that thing. He kind of like gives you a like one of those like angry cat noises. And he goes,
Cannot help that.
well, if it was so easy for you to recreate, then what do you need me for?
Well, I only have so many spare parts on my ship.
I'm not a junk peddler. I'm a scientist.
I wasn't looking for a junk peddler. I was looking for some help, I guess, or possibly some ideas. Or...
Go ahead. Why don't we go ahead and give me a face adversity with influence?
Oh boy, that's my best.
Actually, so no. This is a seek solutions with influence. I think you're not in
Okay.
any active danger right now. This is just looking for a way to sort of like get his help and make this better.
For those not following along in the character sheet, that's a 0 for Talon.
We love a 0. You do have advantage if you want to throw it.
Oh, I might. Let's see. Oh, don't need it.
Great.
It's an 8.
Okay, that's a mixed success. On a mixed success for that, you see the way forward. Did we change this? Is this still 2 from the list above, or does just I choose what's in the way from above, Sean? You're muted.
You're muted.
And I'm muted. I completely forgot to update that. Give me 2 seconds. I believe that I had put the actual one is the GM. Okay, is you choose one from the list above, as per usual, but the GM also gets to choose one or increases the severity from being a minor obstacle to being a major one.
Gotcha. Okay. So you go ahead and make your choice first from that list, and I'll decide if I want this to be a big thing or a small thing.
Or 2 small things.
Or 2 small things, yes.
Well, considering it's a Calasti, I'm gonna pick the burden.
Oh no!
That seems to be a theme on this planet now.
Oh boy. Okay. So. All right. Here's how we're gonna do this. As you're having this conversation, you get a good look around at the place. You see what you need. It's right there. Like, if you can convince him to give it to you, you're golden. And you think you're well on the way to doing that. He's saying, you know what? You seem all right. I appreciate a fellow, someone who's furthering this. In fact, I may actually just ask to see some of your code. I'm curious to see how you quickly were able to... Kind of leans back suddenly, incredibly wary, and goes,
What?
did you meet with Tara?
I did. Not a huge fan.
Kind of narrows his eyes and goes, so you're
Is
a
that
part...
good or bad?
The problem is, I don't know.
If it helps, I don't know either.
It doesn't help.
She was very vague on everything.
I will not be a part of this. I came here to get away from it. I don't want any part of any of this, and I will not be aiding or abetting anyone who is. Good day, sir. You may go.
Well, that's lame.
He says, I don't care. Get out of my lab. If you're a part of the game, I want nothing to do with you. Please go.
I was told I had no choice to be a part of the game if I knew
Everyone
about
is
the
told
game.
they have no choice, and everyone has a choice. There's always a choice.
Well, then I don't want to be a part of the game.
That's
How
too
did
late.
you get out of the game?
I didn't, apparently, but I'm trying my best to, and you're making it harder by being here.
Well, I don't want to be a part of the game. If you could say you're not part of the game, I'm not part of the game either.
Okay? Prove it. Prove you don't need to be part of the game.
I don't even know what the game is.
He goes, you don't have to. I don't understand the nonsense about how it all works and how it all ties together. All I know is that when someone is around that is leading to other things, that it's bringing more people in, especially in a society like ours that has so many calamity, it multiplies and it gets bigger and harder to avoid. So get rid of it. Get rid of Tara, and then we can talk.
Get rid of Tara?
You heard me.
Like, or like depose her, or I don't even know what she is. She had like a fancy throne room, but there wasn't really anyone there besides a robot.
She came here one day, and she started talking about how she was an ambassador for the game, and she was going to be bringing anyone who wanted along, and not wanted, that wasn't her words. She was all, like everyone's a part of it, you can choose to be a pawn or to get out of the way. It was the whole way she does it. And settled in, and everyone started treating her like royalty, even though she never claimed to be. And it's a cult. It just keeps growing and growing and growing, as long as she's here. So, get rid of her. I don't care how. So, for those who are following along at home, this is your burden and a questionable unsavory act are what is standing in your way for getting this. Now, the other unsavory act you could do is if you wanted to find a way to steal from him, because again, you see what you need, but either way, it is a questionable unsavory act.
Uh-huh. Okay, I guess I'm going to go depose. I don't know. I'm going to do something. I'll figure this out.
All right, then. You go do that.
It was nice to meet you. I didn't even get your name.
I'm not giving it to you.
I didn't think you were.
All right.
I'm Talon, by the way.
All right. And you head back out with a new side quest, apparently.
That could have gone better.
When you leave, VaTze's body is still there. Are you doing anything with it, or?
I mean, I will wait a little bit to see if he comes back after my meeting. If it takes like a couple minutes go by and he's not back, then I will start. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna drag his body back to the ship or something.
Yeah, you can like pull it up on top of you and just gravity work your way back. It shouldn't be too bad. The body is pretty light. Okay, you make your way back to the ship with the body. And we'll see what you're doing about Tara later. Let's see. We can get another short round of all three of y'all in before the little break. I tell you, these party splits get me every time. Okay. Ro, you are staring down a I don't want to say violent, but certainly aggressive fungal zombie that is coming at you. What do you do?
Well, I am. You know what? The time for subtlety is over. Apply. I'm going to apply stun baton to. Oh, actually, I'm supposed to avoid hitting into the head, aren't I? I want to see what happens when I jab it in the stomach, in like the chest area.
Okay, go ahead and face adversity with force, please.
Yes, which is a +0, so...
We love a +0.
That's a 6, and the other dice went flying off the table. That is a 1, so 7 +0, 7.
Hey, that's a mixed success, which means you get one thing you wanted to achieve, but I will fully enact one or more existing threat or introduce new ones. So, what is the one thing you wanted to achieve?
The one thing I wanted to achieve is to basically stun it into... to be immobile, you know, to incapacitate it, right?
Absolutely. Got it.
It's gonna get in a few hits, isn't it? I'm gonna get hurt. Okay.
No. I mean, well, maybe you might get hurt, but it's not gonna get in a few hits. The stun baton functions as expected. This thing still is controlling a body, so when all the muscles lock up, it freezes and falls forward like a plank. Your friend Esnog says, "See, little danger," and he goes to the back of the head, and he kind of starts to like twist the mushroom cap of this kind of like kind of dark brown looking mushroom with all these kind of like boily looking things on it, kind of twist it off. And as he's twisting, the door you opened, the hatch slams shut again as the power begins to restore to the place. Little more danger. Little more.
Immediate analysis. I'm going to take my baton, slide it up so that I'm holding onto the very end of it, so I have a good long swinging, fulcrum, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And turn around and aim straight for that turret that I saw that was hanging on there, and whack it before the power even turns on. This is
solid memory. I'm going to give you advantage on this force roll because you didn't hesitate, didn't wait to see if it was a thing, just absolutely force with advantage.
I am not a fan of automated defenses. You can't talk your way out of them.
No, you cannot.
That's the big problem. And since the dawn of my profession, from the humble blow dart and the rolling rock till now, we have always had to deal with the xenoarchaeologist always has to deal with automated defenses.
Always.
Right. We get rid of that 3. So with advantage, that is a 6 and a 5 plus 0 because it's force. So, but it's still an 11.
An 11 is insane. Yeah, cool. You get
Indiana Jones music.
Incredible. Existing complications advance accordingly, but that's fine. So you do what you set it to do. We love to see it. You turn. Sure enough, as you were turning, it is, and just crack. It spins out. You hear wiring snap, and it drops to the ground. And as it does, the hallway is left clear of any danger, like immediate danger. You've gotten rid of the immediate threat, but now the hatch behind you has closed.
Of course.
And the only way forward is forward or like splitting off in this kind of bunker area. There's like a 3-way split, but forward is the primary direction.
All right. I turn to Esnok. I'm like, have you been in this area before? You said that there was another way in.
Yes. First, very cool, very good. Clapping.
I pointed him with the thing. Don't make me use it on you next. God, I'm stressed right now.
Complimenting. Second, yes, been here, yes, but different. Things change. People change things. Zombies change things. Everything changes things. But no way out. Little.
Lead the way.
He does so. He has finished getting the mushroom off, and he puts it in the pack. Mm-hmm. Objective secured. And you guys kind of make your way around, kind of looks to the left, looks to the right, make sure there's nothing coming, leads you off the left path. There is a hatch that sort of opens, like going upwards, like a ladder that kind of goes up to that hatch. And he goes up to it. It's like a valve, and he like starts to like turn it. It's old tech kind of stuff. Turn the valve, creaks it open, tries to like let that kind of big, loud, echoey noise that goes through the place. Goes, kind of keeps climbing, and scampers up there.
All right, follow him up.
As you get up, you find yourself in sort of another cave situation, and you see in this one, you don't see an obvious exit until you realize you're seeing the first water you've seen. There's like a waterlogged tunnel, and he points to you and goes, you hold breath, yes? Hold breath good? Like me?
I just nod to him, of course. I will shut down the shock staff and properly secure it. I look at all of my other stuff, and I'm like, how much of this is... Well, I mean, my hazard suit and pressure system are all fine.
In pack, waterproof.
What about the client?
Waterproof powder pack.
I'm going to trust you on that one.
Oh, many time. Definite. 100%. 99%. Right. And you guys begin to make your way over to the water. I
mean, I'm not afraid of water. I mean, this is kind of like home environment.
Mm-hmm.
So
As you kind of walk over, you get towards the water, and you hear footsteps and someone climbing up the ladder behind you.
We forgot to close the hatch. I say, turning around.
Looks back at the hatch and goes, you close hatch or go? Backing away.
I will turn around, keep my stun baton, even though it's not, like, charged at the moment. Keep it up, and just start backing away. I'm like, it's too late now. Go. Keep going.
Go. You guys make your way to the water, sort of glancing over your shoulders as you go. And you see the head of a type of creature you don't recognize kind of climbing up. You still see the fungal cap. You recognize this is one of the zombies, but you don't recognize what creature it is. It has more of a skin tone like the mole people, but no fur. And his face is like long decayed. This one's been dead for a while. And it climbs up the ladder, and you think every time you think, oh, it's gonna step out of the ladder now, it's taller than you thought it was going to be. And as it finally like emerges from the thing, there's this like very like lanky 8-foot tall creature that is, its arms are super long and its legs are super long, and the body's pretty small, and the whole thing is like decrepit. Bone is showing through where some of the skin was, and you can see the places where like any place where like a joint would have fallen off has become overgrown with fungus and kind of mushrooms. Its eyes glow, and there's like glowing patches on it as well. It appears to have some sort of weapon strapped to its back, and it looks to you guys and says,
No.
and he goes, yes, leave. And he quickly starts going into the water as Nog starts going for the water as quickly as he can.
You said they couldn't talk.
Sometimes, little speak, sometimes. Sometimes speak, sometimes no speak. And he's like waist deep at this point, like wading through the water.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay here either. I'm following him, absolutely. Dive, hold my breath, and well, I mean, I don't even need to. I've got my full pressure suit. So
yeah, you don't need to hold your breath anyway. But he takes a deep breath, and you guys start to go through this. As you're like now swimming through this waterlogged tunnel, every once in a while he'll glance over, and you see this creature has come down with you, and is just making its way through the water after you. It's not faster than you, but it is keeping pace.
I can't do anything about that. I'm just gonna have to stay ahead of it. And,
you guys stay ahead of it as best as you can. This works well until you get to a point where it's like a narrower space, and it's like becomes, I guess you would actually move faster through a narrower space. So yeah, you are like crawling your way through, and again, kind of looking over your shoulder. Would you be in front of Esnog or behind? I'll let you choose. He would let you choose as well.
I said that I was turning I was walking backwards so that I could keep an eye on what was coming out of the hatch while
Gotcha.
I told him to go. So
Cool.
Yeah, I probably would be behind him.
So yeah, if you glance behind you, you're like, you're good. You glance over your shoulder and you see this thing too has come down, and now with its very long arms, it's just this like spidering through this place after you and gaining quickly. You manage to kick out and like get out of that like watery tunnel section and come to the surface of another sort of area that seems to be like another part of this bunker that was also sort of like covered. Like you see basically another hatch leading down into the bunker is the only other exit from this room. And Esnog is running for it and starting to twist it, but he's not going to get that open before this creature catches up with you.
All right. So, damn, I can't even use my stun baton underwater because that's gonna shock everything.
You've come out of the water now. You exit the waterlogged tunnel. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I was gonna basically try to, as it was coming through the opening, given that it was using its hands to push it, propel itself rather than attack, and it couldn't use its thing on its back, it would be the safest point to attack it. Damnation. And I don't have anything. I have no tools on me. I will splash my way up, and I'm going to turn around once I'm off the water, like splat some water off of me, and then turn the stun baton back on.
Okay.
And when it comes out of the water, I'm just going to yell. I'm just going to try to yell, stop, see if it understands what I'm saying.
You yell that. It does stop for a moment, but only to reach behind its back to whatever is strapped there and draw this, like, rusted-looking, like, plank of metal that's been, like, shaped into, like, a vaguely sword thing. It's, like, more like a harpoon, has a, like, kind of hook tip to it. And it is also covered in, like, glowing streaks of, like, this kind of fungal stuff. It's probably about, like, 4 feet long, this, like, blade of metal. And it looks, just towers over you, looks down at you before it advances and says,
"Nobody leaves."
And starts lumbering its way towards you.
Everyone on this planet keeps saying that, I say it.
Well, that's if what Esnog told you is to be believed, these things learn the brains of who they take over. Meaning if that's the notion that someone had,
Yep.
what do you do? As it comes at you, starts bringing this sword around to strike you.
I've just realized I'm carrying a staff with a light on the end of it, and this super tall thing with long limbs and a big blade is towering over. This is the dang Lord of the Rings. I'm going to be yelling in the
It's not Balrog big, but
Oh, but
what do you do?
okay, I am. Okay, it's still affected by muscular cramps and stuff like that. I am actually going to. Oh, I'm terrible at dodging too. Like I'm not an athletic person in general. I can't talk my way out of this. And we're in a cave, so yeah, I guess I'm just.
You can try to talk you out of it. All you said was stop, but it does not seem. It's already in attack mode, so you'll need to at least take care of this first.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to remain on the defensive, at least, trying to stay away from it, but like slowly backing away. Keep the baton, up, kind of like in jabbing position, I guess.
Yeah.
But actually, what I'm going to try to do is I am going to examine it using my academic move.
Okay.
Analyze a subject or anomaly.
All right. I'm going to give you disadvantage because it's literally attacking you. It's not the great time to get analysis.
I kind of figure, yeah.
But let's go ahead and give me a examine it, unless you want to burn your advantage to flatten it out.
No. It's quite alright.
That's not how Sean plays. Sean doesn't use advantage.
Advantage. So that is a 7 plus 2. That is a 9.
All right. You on examine, you choose a line of questioning.
That's on a 10.
Sorry, that's the 10 plus. Sorry. You introduce a threat the subject presents. It might still be leveraged to your advantage. Gotcha. Okay. So you get to choose something about this that is dangerous to you. Whether or not you can use it to your advantage is up to you. So what do you notice that is dangerous to you? Other than, of course, sword.
Yes. Okay. So as it swings with the sword, I'm going to say that the thing is how to put it is like. Hold on, give me a second. I want to make sure that this works. In addition to the sword and long reach and stuff like that, you said that the joints are connected by fungal growth, right? Like they aren't like where the joints have worn away. It's connected by fungal growth.
Yes, that's correct.
So I'm thinking actually its reach is even longer than expected because of the fact that those are flexible and elongated, but it means that they're prone to severing when the two bones get far enough apart that they're not that it's just soft tissue, right?
Absolutely,
So
love it.
it can extend its arms further than expected, which means that I'm totally in its reach, even though I thought I wasn't.
Correct.
But it means that if I can get in there to a joint, I could probably just burn it away because it's
Absolutely.
Fungal matter. Okay, but I have to literally tickle it in its armpit or something to get its arm off.
And the good news is, because what you just established, you're in its range. And so you've backed away, but that has not been enough. I'm going to just force a roll here of face adversity with precision to get out of the way of this blow.
This is with the -1. And do I have disadvantage on this one too?
Because you just analyzed it, I'm going to say no. You don't have disadvantage. This is just a dodge. This is literally just rolling out of the way.
Sure.
This thing is still sluggish, even though it has long reach.
That is a 6 - 1, 5.
Awesome.
Things go sideways.
Things do indeed go sideways. So you kind of pause, you're back and feel like, cool, out of range. Oh, I'm not out of range. And you like go and dive for it, and it just like catches you as you are diving away. This would be a pretty nasty wound, except you have your hazard suit, correct? Your
hazard suit is not armor though.
Right, but you can still, while it's not armor, it is still like protecting you from the elements here, and I think that is what is shredded. The back of that gets, like, you managed to escape without getting harmed, but the back of your hazard suit is slashed open, and you hear all the alarms, warning, pressure, and everything kind of going off at once as your hazard suit basically goes into panic shutdown mode. The gash is deep enough and like wide enough that this is going to take a real fix. This is stressed. It is not going to be protecting you at any point moving forward until it is fixed. On that, as that happens, you hear again the "nobody leaves" as it sort of like begins to like recoup. It takes a second to kind of get its sword back up and goes in front of the swing. As Nog is like, almost there, little time.
All right, its sword is basically it's at its maximum extension. Its rotor here is exposed on the shoulder. My suit has been torn more or less off of my back and side, so I'm just going to scramble up, run underneath it, and try to catch it in the like from the underarm, because I'm like, I guess I'm aiming upwards here.
Cool.
More or less golf swing it straight across underneath the arm to like lop the arm off. Because there's like bone, lots of like sinewy stuff, and I'm aiming for that squishy bit.
So
the rib cage there.
So you have two bonuses to this. One being that you have now seen it swing before, so you know what its swings look like, and two, that you analyze its weakness already. So I'm actually going to flip this to an advantage. Go ahead and roll force with advantage.
Oh, fantastic. 11 plus 0, but 11.
You get one thing you accomplished. Existing complications advance accordingly. You hear the hatch fling open. What is it you were trying to accomplish?
I was trying to basically disarm it. Make it lose its arm that's holding the blade.
Sure enough, the fungal kind of joint that's holding it there cracks and fries and drops to the ground. The blade sort of clatters down. The creature continues its swing, but there's nothing there. It's just the shoulder blade that kind of swings, and it sort of looks down, and it turns around to like bend down and pick up its severed arm. And you hear, "Hatch open! Go, 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 go!"
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And you hurry down the hatch, following along. As you go, you kind of are moving through this compound again, another kind of part of it, finds it like another, down a corridor, you see another like fungal creature like following along, and you sort of outrun it. And you make your way back to like the regular kind of caves where there's just like an open hatch waiting to kind of get out. You make your way out and start climbing your way back up. As you are kind of getting away from the situation and putting distance between this and the rest of it, you sort of are climbing up like one of the like cliff sides with this gear, and you see someone run out the front of the hatch. They like kind of stop at the front, and as you are like climbing, you're like almost like to a point where you could like duck out of sight, and you just hear a "Stop there! Don't move." Actually, would he be speaking? Yeah, he would be speaking Lurin. So you hear that voice kind of echo Esnog ducks around the corner. He does not stop as he is told.
Shine my light over towards where they are. What are they?
I will answer that question when we come back to you. I meant for this to be I'll do like a quick 5-minute scene with everyone, and then I got carried away. So let's actually take a quick break, and when we come back, we will come back to Halcyon, go to Talon, and continue on through.
All right, sounds good.
All right, great. Where is my music? There it is. Great. All right, guys. Chat. I will see you shortly. Bye bye. We're back. Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, I don't feel the need. If there's anyone new watching, feel free to chime in if you have no idea what's going on. But we're just gonna dive. We're just gonna keep going because we got game to play. We got things to accomplish. So let's accomplish some things. Halcyon.
That's me.
You are about to go through some blast doors.
Pew.
The doors open, and inside, you see a my own races. I can never even remember their names. You see a radiant that is sort of standing in like a battle-strewn med lab. Like, there's blaster bolts that have been fired off, like, still smoking, like, incredibly recently. You just heard the gunfire from inside.
Yeah.
They have a plasma, like, a laser pistol in one hand and a broom in the other, and they're, like, kind of sweeping up. And they kind of look up and say something in the language you don't understand to Dr. Mech. And Dr. Mech says, again, you can understand because it's through, I guess Dr. Mech would turn it off to talk to her, talks back. They get into like a quick disagreement very quickly, and this turns translator back on to you and goes, where is my voice mod thing? Do. The good doctor doesn't really seem to want two of us visiting at a time. I'll wait outside whenever you're done.
She understands me. You don't need the translator, right?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Dr. Mech steps outside, and Dr. Lento presses a few buttons, closes the blast doors again. So, how can I help you? What are you looking for?
I have several questions at this point. What was all of that blaster fire about?
I was shooting something.
You're not going to elaborate on that?
Well, it doesn't matter now. I've shot it to death. It's dead now, so it doesn't matter. You're not very bright, are you?
Apparently not. Why don't you want more than one of us in here at a time?
I only have, my eyes only look in one direction. You guys could surround me if you wanted to ambush me and steal my work, kill me, you know. Safer this way.
It's hard to find a fault in that logic.
I know. It's faultless.
Indeed. So... he and I were talking about, the fungus.
Of course.
And
it's the thing to talk about here.
Yeah, it's I've never seen anything like it, and I was wondering if you could maybe take me to where it grows.
Which kind? It grows all over the planet. There's all kinds of it.
The healing kind, and I like pull out one of the syringes and show them. No.
Sorry. That is not to say, no, I can't take you to where it grows. That is to say, that's not what it does. That's what we bastardize it to do.
Oh. Okay. Well, he did say you know more about it than he does.
I know more about it than anybody does.
All right. Glad he took me here. So then what, if it doesn't heal, what does it do?
Are you...
Exactly.
What use do you serve? Is this an exchange of information? What use do you serve before I answer your questions?
I'm also a doctor.
Okay.
My ship just landed here, so I'm just trying to get my bearings and understand everything that's going on around here.
Okay. That didn't answer my question. What use do you serve me?
I can be your underling. I can be your assistant.
Assistant. Go ahead and
I have no reason to try and steal any information you have. I am just trying to learn.
Everyone who has a reason to steal something says they don't have a reason to steal it. Go ahead and roll.
You can make me not an idiot.
Roll plus influence, please.
Oh right, that's my -1. Yeah, I'll do that at advantage. I'll do this one at advantage.
Sure.
Eight.
Mixed success. So this is a I am gonna say this is a face adversity. This radiant is very hostile, and also you, even if it's not a physical danger you're in, you are in danger of losing out on this entirely. Name the one thing you wanted to achieve here, and I will enact one or more existing threat or introduce a new one.
Learn. I'll go a general. Learn more about this quote-unquote healing fungus.
Cool. She goes, kind of looks you up and down when you say assistant, and just goes, okay, deal. You're my assistant, and you remain my assistant until you feel you've learned enough, and then you can go.
Deal.
Great. Put this on. She turns over to a wall kind of nearby where there's like a hazmat suit hanging and hands it to you.
Strap in.
Great. I'm going to show you one of the things I was shooting.
Okay.
It's in a cage for now.
Okay. I'm learning.
She walks you, there's like to another door. She kind of puts her hand, like fingerprint scans each of her fingerprints one after the other. Door opens, and you go back into this kind of back area. The back area of this little like lab is, if the front was well kept, just with the exception of some blastifier, the back is just a clusterfuck. It's all overgrown by different types of fungus. It's like technicolored back here. Some of it is like growing free. Some of it's like fenced in little cages. You realize the floor you're walking on are like glass little terrariums with fungus growing beneath your feet that are all different types and specimens. Everything from like, oh, this looks like a simple like just gray mushroom, all the way to this one is literally shifting hue depending on which angle I look at it from. And it's this whole mess. And you see some cages sort of towards the back of the room with just pots of soil with mushrooms growing out of them. And that's it.
As I'm walking, I like pull my data pad out and I'm starting to like take as many notes as possible, like the start of notes.
So she is going to explain some things to you, which is going to give you the more information you were looking for. As she says, you said you were looking for a fungus that heals. Wrong. The fungus doesn't heal, it changes. It changes and it grows. It's been changing and growing for longer than any other living being has ever changed or grown. Probably ever, but definitely on this planet. This planet was, first and foremost, fungus, and it has lived for that long. It's what you're seeing are different strains of fungus that have grown deep beneath the surface, and since they were so vast and so numerous, people just abused them and died because no one knew what they did or how to utilize them. They are not intelligent. But they simultaneously possess an intelligence far beyond we do, far beyond what we have. They don't have brains. They have functions that are somewhere deeper on this planet being sent out to them through a vast network. They're all connected through invisible spores that we can't see and can barely contain. If you find one that can do what you want it to do, it's a mix of luck or sacrifice that brought us there. I am here to make those sacrifices. I'm not afraid of learning new things like everyone else seems to be. They find one fungus which can make their migraines go away, and they think they've solved it all. No. This whole planet has this, and it has it in spades. And there are incredible things that can be done, which is why I'm developing a super virus with them.
Super virus?
This is literally for Ethan's reaction.
Wipe out all of the fungus.
No,
right?
of course not. Don't be ridiculous.
Wipe out all of...
You can't wipe out a thing with itself. No, don't. Why? Why would I do that? Did you wrong me? Do you deserve to be wiped out?
I sure hope not.
Then no.
Then what's the super virus for?
I don't understand the question.
You just said that you were making a super virus.
Yes.
I'm
I told you
curious
why.
as to why.
I literally ended it with, that's why. Do you not... I knew you were dim, but I'm going to need you to be... If you're going to be my assistant, I need you to try to pick up the pieces a little bit faster.
Again, my ship just crash landed here less than a day ago.
There is an incredibly powerful source of energy and intelligence on this planet that is capable of things beyond our comprehension, so I'm making a super virus.
Oh, now I get it. Sorry, I thought that you were saying that the fungus was the super intelligent thing, and that's why I was confused. Okay.
It is. What's the hard... What part of this is hard to understand?
Clear as mud.
All right, good. She points over to one of the cages and she goes, this one needs to be, I'm going to be introducing some new chemicals to it. I just introduced a bit of hydrochloric acid last time, and it came to life and started attacking me. So we're on the right track. I'm going to have you go and introduce some chemicals to this plant, to this fungus, and we're going to see what reactions it has. You're going to be up close, and I'm going to record them from a safe distance.
Okay. Just let me know what chemicals to throw in there, and I will do that.
Of course. She goes and fetches a very, kind of sampling kit of various sort of concoctions, most of which you recognize. Most of it's fairly simple, chemical compounds for you to go and do some things with. Now, you don't understand exactly how this works, so I am going to have you... go ahead and give me a... Do we have a role for nature-based things? I guess this is science-based things more than nature. Not that it isn't nature, but would the role... it would be... mind? Would this be a mind role? I know it's not technically computers, but...
Oh, sorry, I was... well, first off, Halcyon is a military academic. He has the same move that I do, as far as examining things goes, just as a general.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
But now, state my curiosity. If he didn't have that, and I needed him to choose which chemicals to add to get a good but not good reaction that's not going to get him murdered,
that would probably be a mind. It's like a kind of yes, it is not exactly computer stuff. I need to maybe update that. It's one of the reasons why I was kind of waffling on calling it science rather than mind.
Sweet.
Because it is a very sciencey thing. So, I mean, Ethan, you are muted.
We had brought up chemistry when we decided on mind.
Yeah.
Cool,
Chemistry
cool.
is part of mind. Yeah.
All right, so you are welcome to make a mind roll with Seek Solutions. No, with a Face Adversity, or you can use your Examine to try and figure that out a bit more with your expertise.
Well, can I use my career move Examine?
Yes, that's what. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Then I will do that.
So it is still a mind roll. It's when you analyze a subject or anomaly.
Yep. And this whole fucking situation's an anomaly, to be
Oh, yeah.
perfectly honest.
Guys, when I first wrote the Infinite Scrapyard, I really wasn't intending it for it to be a giant fungus planet, but things evolved.
Like fungi.
Like fungi.
So that's a 10.
Hell yeah. Choose a line of questioning. I will elaborate. It can be a flaw or weakness, its cause of origin, its purpose or value, or its expected behavior.
I would like the expected behavior, I guess.
Excellent.
Because I'm looking for the right chemicals and stuff to get what I want.
Yeah. So you examine
How is this
this.
gonna react?
You examine this, and just based on what she told you about the hydrochloric acid, and you start kind of piecing things together. You try a few things just to kind of that you're pretty sure are safer, just to kind of get get a gauge. And sure enough, you're right. She's kind of watching and recording. As you are doing that, you realize there's probably like a combination you could do. You could do some combinations and make some new compounds, which would actually give a more profound effect. You realize if she's trying to develop a virus, she doesn't want something she can't control. She's going to want something which is like kind of melt it down. So you can make this basically like acidic mix of stuff that would like melt it down and give it the same volatile thing that made it attack her, while simultaneously like stabilizing it in a way that would basically turn it into a virus. You don't know if that's the right call to make here, but you could do it.
I guess, yeah.
If you would like to find other ways to do, you could also just like test all of them. You recognize now, cool, you could test all of them, get the results. One of them might cause something more volatile and explosive, but you have a hazmat suit, so you'd probably be fine. If you would like to not give that information, you could withhold it easily enough.
No, I'm trying to get on her good side.
Okay, great.
So I will, yeah.
I'll
let her know.
Great. Are you doing it or are you just saying it?
I'm just gonna do it.
Awesome. You're like in the middle of like, she goes, what are you doing? I didn't tell you to, and you...
This. I'm doing this. I'm doing what you asked me to do.
When I said you weren't very bright, you agreed. Why? You're incredibly bright.
Well, because I'm not very bright at all things.
You don't have to be bright at all things to be bright.
I'm better at the doing things than the actual talking about the doing things. If my crewmates were here, they would be able to tell you better. I'm better with things and broken people than talking.
I believe I've misjudged you. You are a confounding individual, and I rather think I like you. She walks over to the mushroom and kind of like sees that it kind of melted down into this kind of like goop. And she like takes a little sampling vial, puts it in, smells it, and goes over and like does some analysis, like pours it on like a plate, looks at it under a microscope, and she goes, incredible. Look. And she shows you, and sure enough, you've like see like she puts like a living tissue sample in there. You watch this thing just spreads, consumes it, and just destroys it very quickly. And she goes, amazing, we've succeeded, and we no longer need to develop any more viruses. She goes into like a compartment of the wall, pulls out a flamethrower, and torches those mushrooms. What?
I mean, those can still be studied though for other purposes.
I didn't torch all of them, just the ones that you... There's more of these kinds of mushrooms that exist in the world. I don't want the ones that have been contaminated by the chemicals we've been experimenting with.
Okay, you're not wrong.
The mushrooms learn. The fungi learn. It's what they do. They have always been learning. And no one is asking the question why they learn. And if we can find something they can't do, then we'll know. We'll have an answer to that. If they are okay turning into a virus, then there's no limit. I have tested the boundaries in many directions and will continue to do so, but I've yet to find something the mushrooms won't do when prompted in the right direction.
I think that much like I am your assistant, they are just trying to learn.
Yes.
It's like if Ro were, I wish Ro were here to describe this better, but it's like when a civilization is young and small and seeing the world for the first time, or a child. The fungus is like a child seeing the world for the first time. It is trying to
eons
learn
old. It far exists, outlives any of us. I don't understand them. What are you talking about?
But the concept is still the same. Of it is trying to learn and absorb all the information it can. Why I don't know. So it can grow. It innately wants to grow, which is not inherently a bad thing.
No, it's not. This is not new information you're giving me.
I'm just trying to explain why it's learning.
Okay. I think this is back to the part where you're not good
I'm
at
dumb.
it.
Yes.
No,
yeah,
you're not dumb.
This is
You're
exactly
bad at
what
this.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm beginning to understand how you work. What's your name?
Dewey.
Dewey. You are good at some things and bad at most. I understand now.
Correct.
What would you, since you have very successfully aided me in the creation of this virus, what would you like the mushrooms to be able to do? What would you like to teach them how to do? What can we experiment on next?
Do they ever communicate back to you?
Incredible. Let's find out. And we're going to cut away from there for a minute. And we are going to go back to Talon. Talon
has just been absentmindedly dragging VaTze's body and talking to it because there's no one else there to talk to.
Once VaTze's body is secured back on the ship, what do you do?
Continuing the conversation with VaTze's body. So now there's a moral quandary. On the one hand, this Terra lady was kind of a bitch. She did try to kill me and the captain. On the other hand, she might have had a good reason, but it's kind of hard to say that just randomly deciding, like, oh, you're no use to me, so I'm going to kill you. That's not a very good reason, is it?
No response.
You're a very good conversationalist.
The floor is yours.
Not really. I know. Would like someone to bounce ideas off of, but there's no one else here.
Something on your mind, Talon? Halifax is there.
I was gonna say I would like to talk to Halifax, but Elle wasn't here.
I'll NPC.
Okay. So I may have found just the thing I need to make this new translator like super awesome and something they will definitely appreciate and probably let us go for.
Oh, great. That's incredible.
However,
there's always a however.
Yes, of course. That's how the universe works, Captain.
However,
to get it, I will either have to, I can't do air quotes because of pause, but get rid of that Terra bitch, or B, steal it.
Okay. Is Tara the one guarding it?
No, but the one who has it doesn't like her and wants her gone.
Okay. That...
Like,
Look.
she did try to kill us, so it's like, on the one hand, she kind of deserves it. On the other hand, that seems a little cold-hearted.
I don't know what she told you once I left, and I don't want to. But...
Honestly, I'm not sure what she told me either.
Jesus, why is everyone so cryptic and weird?
Right?
All right. We have... This place has not done us any favors. I want to leave. If you truly think this is going to get us out, what do you think is going to get us in the least amount of trouble for doing it? Because quite frankly, minimize the damages, but we've got to get out of here.
See, that's the thing. On the one hand, the guy seems super important. Like, he's the one who made the translators in the first place. But on the other hand, Tara also seems super important. So doing anything against either of them will probably get us in trouble.
Great. Is there any other way to do this? Can't we just agree to Skybo that we're not going to tell anyone he lets us go? Isn't that an option?
I mean, that's what we've been trying to do, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's been cagey about the whole thing. But,
right?
Look, I trust you, Talon. I do. And I know I'm still new to this captain business. But if you make one of those choices and you need help with one of them, I will happily help you with whatever you decide. Because if it means we're not staying here. We're just not. Tarika might be, but that's a conversation I need to have with her.
The funny thing is, Tara said we're not staying either, but didn't offer anything kind of support. She just said like, "Oh, I know your future. You're not going to stay.
What?
I'm going to be..." Yeah, she's super cryptic, right?
Yeah, and for someone who knows our future, you'd think she wouldn't have fought us because she'd know she would lose.
She didn't seem to know it yet.
I'm not talking this anymore.
Exactly,
I'm not doing it.
exactly. The whole thing's fucking crazy.
Look, if you have another avenue to explore, if you want to talk to Skylo and see if maybe he has any ideas, or literally anyone else, feel free. If you decide you need to steal a thing, I'll help distract or whatever. If you decide you need to fight a bitch, I'll fight a bitch with you.
Okay. I'll think of something. I always do, Captain.
You always do. Usually I don't like it, but in this case I'm counting on you to be the exception.
I appreciate your value of me.
Of course. By the way, have you seen VaTze?
He came with me. Met him properly, you could say. But then he went into a mainframe and told me to bring him back to the ship when I was done. I put him back in his room.
Oh, he fully introduced himself to you?
Yes.
Holy shit, he must be desperate.
That is the vibe I got, yes.
All right, we need to make sure VaTze doesn't get into too much trouble as well.
Yes, for wanting to stay out of machinery while he was out and about, he definitely decided to go into some machinery and was there for a while.
Oh boy. Okay, how about this? You figure out what you're going to do and get back to me. I'm going to go on a stroll and make sure VaTze doesn't need anything. I'll just go start, I guess, talking to various computer consoles until VaTze responds.
I can tell you where we parted ways, if you'd like.
That would be so helpful.
Directions are given, yeah. All right, so the question stands, what are you doing?
So, I have the move Infiltrate.
Oh boy. Tell me more.
I can either, if I roll a 10 plus, to sneak into an area by rolling precision, I can eliminate security and open doors, recon or gain information, or set up an action that will be triggered later.
Okay.
Now, feasibly, that could be used either to sneak into Tara's place and do something nefarious, or sneak into the other guy's place and steal his shit.
Well, why don't you roll first and decide after?
That's a very good point. Because I definitely have a very dark idea of how to deal with Tara. But I'm not sure if Talon wants to do it.
Let's get morally ambiguous. I think this is the first questionable or unsavory act I've imposed that actually feels unsavory.
Right? Well, that's a mix.
Okay.
You're in undetected. The GM decides which opportunity you could seize if you want. Other actions have to be attempted separately.
I'm going to say the opportunity you can seize is set up an action triggered later, because I think it's the most fun.
Yeah. That's the one that I had the idea for.
All right. I'll give that to you then. So, you tell me what you want to do.
That is, I was kind of hoping the other two would be back before I did this. Because introducing the fungus into this equation would have been interesting.
I mean, if you want to wait for them, you're welcome to wait.
Yeah.
The group, I think we're close enough to the group reconvening soon. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yes, Ron?
Josh, are you playing with the slinky?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not a slinky. It's my chainmail dice bag. It's my new favorite fidget toy.
Right. Unfortunately, it's very audible because it's right near your microphone.
Sure is.
I'm sorry to call you out on it.
No, you're so good. Oh, Orange, thank you for the raid.
That last bit
it did sound like a slinky.
So sorry.
Was hell on my ears.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to our listeners. I'm sorry to everyone. I'll keep it over here. I'm actually going to put it out of, us behind me, out of reach, so that I don't get tempted to pick it up.
I need to find out your address so I can send you an actual one of those fidgety things, like the fidget cubes.
I had one of the popper things, and I literally used it so much they tore out. I have fidget things to death.
Literally doing it right now.
It's cool. All right, I just won't do that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We're so predictable, aren't we?
We really are. Okay.
Honestly, I would want to wait till
Sweet.
nightfall or whatever the equivalent of is anyway.
You don't really know the equivalent of nightfall.
Exactly.
But you can't wait till the others.
cycle.
You can't wait till the others return at the very least.
Okay.
So let's cut away. Hey, Ro. So as you turn to shine your light at this person, Esnog is like, oh, he kill you, quick, run, trying to convince you to come back.
You know who they are?
You get a glance at this person as this is happening. You see what appears to be a Lurin man. Not undead, not mushroom zombie, full just human, with a laser rifle just sort of pointed up at you, ready to fire.
Stop. This isn't a creature. This is a person.
I know.
Do you know who they are?
Bad news, big danger. And at the same time, this person's saying, "Come down, lay any weapons you have on the ground, or I will fire." You can make it. He can't fire that quick. Get behind.
I will yell back to him. I am not in the habit of giving up my weaponry. Why shouldn't we just try to leave then?
You think you're a faster mover than I am a shot? Go ahead, take that gamble. Kind of gives that the laser equivalent of cocking a gun.
Yep. Let me talk.
Thank you, Ethan.
Let me talk my way out of this. I say to Esnog, and I will listen. I'm not going to get shot down while crawling across a cavern wall. There's no way to dodge.
He points to the next area. Goes 6 feet away. Dash there, out of range. He'd never catch us. Just one dodge.
I'm going to make my way down towards the guy with the laser. And I'm gonna look up and give a very pointed look to Esnog, and I'm just and I say, "I trusted you. Now's your turn to trust me."
Trust you? No, trust him. You begin to make your way down. He kind of follows you as he goes. And you make your way back down to the kind of bottom floor, facing this sort of bunker hatch.
When I reach the floor, my knee, the fake knee, from the artificial leg buckles a bit. Put my stun baton on my ground. Keep my hand on top of the pommel of it, and I will open my other arm as I walk very slowly and very openly towards him. I'm like, I'm afraid that I am not armed, so I can't throw anything down. Aside from this, I say to the staff, and then I lean back on it.
He sort of like narrows his eyes a little bit, and once you get a few steps like away from the wall, he goes, "And that's good. Stop there."
I stop.
He kind of lifts his gun up. He goes, "I don't know if you can fight with the staff or not, but if you're that far back, I'm not worried."
Also fair. I don't intend to attack anything. This is a defensive tool at best.
So what are you doing down here?
Well, my associate here, a friend / acquaintance, I say, pointing to Esnog. Is Esnog climbing down, or is he still up
No,
there
he
on
is
the
not.
wall?
He is hidden around that little corner that gives him that little bit of cover.
Yes. My associate here informed me that he needed a piece of organic material that could power a robot of his.
Got it. Scavenging.
And he fairly, yes, although he was actually more interested in the fungal things that take control of the bodies around here.
Yeah, I bet he was.
He wants to take it up above. Am I to assume that this is a bad idea?
I mean, not a bad idea in the sense it's in any way dangerous to do that, but it's a bad idea in that it is stealing, and I will not allow it.
Interesting. You own the funguses, then?
I don't think they can be owned in that way. But as much as we are on the same side, yes, I suppose I do.
Interesting, I say, and I'm actually gonna start taking a more casual conversational pose, not like the I am afraid of you, but now more of the actual interest, both hands on the staff kind of thing. As a side note, this is also a power play in the sense that I am physically no longer being intimidated by him, kind of thing.
Right, for sure.
So I'm like, interesting. You're on the same side as what would you even call them? I hesitate to use the word creatures. The fungal shamblers.
Fungi is fine. The bodies of the people that they are controlling, moving around, are just bodies.
So they are puppeteering them. Fine. You claim to be on the same side as them. They have therefore a side, an intelligence of some kind, some sort of decision making.
At this point, I'm going to have you. No, we're not going to roll yet. Actually, before he answers, though, he opens his mouth to answer, and he quickly raises his gun and shoots up as you hear Esnog make a break for it. Pew, pew. The lasers hit the walls. Good luck, believe in your friend! And kind of keeps running out of sight and around the corner. Esnog is out. And
I don't turn, I try not to react other than to just look slightly disappointed and bemused. So you got this kind of half smile of yep.
He
figured as much.
He says, all right, I've been answering a lot of your questions, so I'm just going to need you to answer one of mine. He raises his gun back up and just levels it at you. And he says, if you could be anywhere right now, where would you choose to be?
Giving my dissertation at the Grand Symposium in the heart of the academy, far away from here.
He keeps the gun trained on you for a second and goes, then we are on the same side.
Finally, the first person on this blasted planet that wants me off of it. I'm so glad to meet you.
Absolutely. He Puts the gun away. No roll needed. He approaches, holds out his hand and goes, Kaladin, nice to meet you.
Sorry, Kaladin?
Kaladin. Our name generator redemption from our dear friend Tree Builder. Griff, let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It might be Kaladin.
How do you spell that? Kaladban?
Yes, like Paladin, but with a K.
Oh, cool. Kaladin. Awesome. I figured as much, but was wondering.
Mm-hmm.
All right. VaTze, xenoarchaeologist. Also, the explanation of the reason why I asked you so many questions, because I'm interested.
I got that. The people on this planet are dead set on keeping it a secret, and they will take that with them to their graves. I'm Ellorah. We belong in the stars. I will not be stuck on this planet for the rest of my life.
And you were cast out for that, I assume? That's why you live down here?
Oh, no. No, I wasn't cast out. I came down here of my own volition. This is my way out.
Slightly bleak, my friend.
There's...
Unless you're not telling me something. Because this just seems a further way in.
Oh, no.
Philosophically speaking.
I'm not gonna live down here under the planet for the rest of my life. I mean, the means of my escape are down here.
Fascinating. There's another ship down here? There's an exit of some kind?
Oh, no. No, we do need to go through their civilization to get out. But that means the means to go through a civilization. And that's here.
I do hope that you're not implying violence.
If they know what's good for them, I won't be implying genocide. Hopefully, this can just start with waving a big stick and end there.
I gotta mute
Oh
myself.
dear, oh dear.
Outnumbering them should be more than enough. I don't want it to come to any sort of war.
Can we talk in a more appropriate locale? I say looking around at the underground cavern, I guess. I would love for you to meet the rest of my crew because they are also very, very interested in leaving. Additionally, and this is the important part, despite the fact that no one on this planet seems to want to leave, I also really I can't buy into the idea that their harm to them is the only way forward. I want to know why they don't want to leave.
If you can see another way out of here that isn't at least the threat of harm, then you haven't been here long enough.
I have associates who are working on their own plans to head out, but our current ideas revolve around ingratiating ourselves. Am I to assume that that's not going to work?
You are to assume that that's how they get you. They make you believe that if you're kind enough and good enough and contribute enough that they'll just let you go. They don't. They just do that until you decide you want to stay. They count on everyone making that decision in the end.
And how exactly did you intend to leave if they dismantle every ship and close off the exits?
They will not continue to do that if their society is under threat. If their choices are let one ship go or face a total war, I believe they will let one ship go.
So, if you want, we can montage this kind of thing. But Ro would like to actually, hold on, but first, can you freely travel here and back to the civilization? Are you a wanted person? Do they know what you intend?
Oh, enough of them know me that I would not be welcome back up there at this point, yeah.
I see. I would have really liked to have contacted my allies. Friends are always good.
Hey, if you have a way to bring them down here without leaving, you're more than welcome to.
Our communicators don't work, do they?
I believe they do. However, you are pretty far below ground.
That's what I was kind of figuring.
Why don't you go ahead and seek solutions using hardware?
All right. Let me see if I can't get. And then I stop and I'm like, survey kit is upstairs. All right, let's see if this little earbud can have enough power by itself, because normally I would have to set up an antenna or something. All right. Any disadvantage or anything like that, or are we?
No, I'm okay. This is tech you know well.
Oh, that is a 5 total. Wow. Yeah. Right.
Would you like to burn your advantage on this?
Yeah, let's burn the advantage.
All right.
Why not? Let's reroll one of those 2s as a 4, so that's a 7. Hey.
Okay, we'll take a mixed success as you seek solutions, which means you find what you seek, but you choose one from the list, and I will either increase the severity or choose another one. So you were looking for a way to talk to the crew. Go ahead and give me one from that list.
I'm going to actually say that it's my burden that's going to come in.
Okay.
I think that I'm going to be of two minds about this.
Remind me of your burden, please.
My burden is utterly devoted to xenoarchaeology, which means that the idea of destroying a culture is antithetical to my very being.
Cool. So, in order to know what to even talk to your crew about, you recognize you could probably make the modifications on this that you need, but first off, it is going to take some more tech than you have, which means you hang on. Let me choose it. Let me choose this carefully. No, you assume that they're going to have what's needed in their little bunker. There'll be enough tech in there for you to make do with that. But it does mean if you want to get in touch with them, you need to go deeper into this place, which will also give you a better look at the civilization that you are, or his version of like whatever it is he's doing, to see if this is something that actually you could support. So this is going to be, you are going to be getting to the point where you can use his communication stuff to get in touch with your crew, but you're also going to be learning more about it as you go, which means going deeper into this place and farther from help should you wind up needing help.
Yeah, I'm basically putting myself into his into his control rather than in a neutral location.
Your burden and a harmful, unpleasant location.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, damn. I was hoping to avoid the harmful, unpleasant location because I knew that would be like either on like the edge of a cliff or deep into his clutches. One of the two.
Yep. That's what we're going for. If you hadn't chosen burden, we could have done this. Could have been the edge of a cliff, my friend.
So I'm going to be like, do you have any kind of transmission software or anything like that, or transmission hardware in there? This earbud will not contact the upper surface.
It's currently disabled because I don't like talking with them or having them have the ability to listen in on what I'm doing down here. But we could open up a certain channel if that would mean you could contact your people.
All right. So I'm like trying to maintain this veneer of being, jovial and like, affable. So please lead the way.
Okay.
And while we're walking there, I'm just going to ask, I must ask, do you control the creatures that are around here? Do you tell them what to do?
No.
They seem to leave you alone, certainly. More luck than we had against them.
Of course they do. They are all of their own mind. They all want certain things. You don't go against what they want, and they leave you alone.
Now, there was one that sounded very familiar. Couldn't quite tell what kind of creature it was, but it, in no uncertain terms, indicated that we were not to leave, that no one leaves. Now, you'll understand that that's not something that I want to hear from anyone, especially not a towering, long-limbed hulk of a creature with a huge sword. Have you had an encounter with that one specifically? Any moral or ethical disagreements with that one?
Depends. How towering are we talking about?
8 feet, roughly, made out of mostly arms and legs. Very small torso.
Just 8 feet. That's one of the smaller ones. Yes, I've encountered them. I'm not trying to, in their eyes, I'm not trying to leave yet. And it's going to redefine what leaving means when it is time to leave. Their statement comes from a place of fear because they don't see a way out. They don't believe it's possible to leave. Most of the people who die down here die looking for a way out and not finding one. They die afraid of that. Showing them one, they'd flock to it like moths to a flame.
So, following along, tapping with my cane at each step. I'm like, and how exactly do you intend to have? Forgive me for using the term that you did not use, but how exactly do you intend to create an army of these to threaten an entire civilization? From my very rough estimates, we're talking about, what was it, tens of thousands?
Mm-hmm.
Tens of thousands of people. We're talking about a sizable force of Calasti who, by themselves, can be exceptionally deadly in ways that average humanoids are not. Especially in large groups, they tend to be even more deadly in large groups because of how much they can do. How exactly do you tend to even match that just raw manpower?
Yeah.
How many corpses do you have?
As you are walking through this bunker and kind of making lefts and rights, he goes, yeah, they've been here for a long time and they sure do like making more of themselves. But for every couple of people there's a couple dozen more who have died here at some point or another. He puts his hand, he enters the code for one of these doors. It opens, and sprawling out ahead of you is this massive cavern, just this huge cavernous space, and all you see is just thousands of these glowing bulbs shambling and moving around as this huge crowd of these fungal creatures just in this cave. Immense, just stretching out into the distance.
I'm going to pause for a second and just say, and you're saying that none of these are reasoning creatures?
They're learning creatures.
Do they communicate? Do they have desires?
Let's get you to your people. And he pulls you down a different corridor and takes you to a communications array. We're going to cut away. And we're going to head up to Halcyon. Halcyon.
Yeah.
You are doing some work with the doctor.
Yep.
Trying to figure out basically how to communicate. And you are, interestingly enough, answering the question Ro just asked. Because basically, what the doctor does is you guys have to go through the city, run some errands, make a quick exchange with someone, give them a medical syringe, come back with a package, and unwrap a package of this body of someone who passed away. You get the idea that it's someone who just died, not someone who's murdered or anything, but it's a body that basically went to their equivalent of a grave digger, got one of their bodies, brought it back, and she takes this is getting, listen, man, this is getting weird.
No, we found somebody who out-mad scientists Halcyon.
Oh, yes.
Halcyon is just is this what I look like to everybody else?
That is exactly what's running through Halcyon's mind as they're carrying the body back of just is this how everybody felt on that one planet with the scarring and the duplicates? Is this how they felt?
You watch in real time as this doctor takes one of these larger kind of mushroom caps with the brown ones with the spores on the boils on them, and basically just sort of attaches it to the back of this person's head, and you watch as the mushroom sort of grows around into the body very, very quickly, and
I'm taking so many notes.
moves the body over into like a big glass cage, like a sort of like bulletproof glass sort of a thing, and waits. And the doctor turns to you and says, "Now, I've done this before. This type of mushroom tends to take very well to the human brain as long as it hasn't been dead for too long. And it tends to start rewiring things in a way that makes sense to it. I have been, as of yet, unable to successfully communicate with it. It can speak, but typically in no sort of sensible way. If you can figure out a way to communicate, because you are, in fact, quite bright at this, it would be very beneficial to our research." Now, I've realized that speaking is one of the things you are bad at, but science is one of the things you're good at, and this is science and speaking. Perhaps the two will balance each other out, and you'll be neutral at it, which is good enough for me.
Well, yes, it's yes. Yeah, and so I will just kind of like sit by the, this glass chamber that it's in, and like take notes on how it's acting and reacting and stuff.
After about 10 minutes, its eyes open, and it lurches upwards.
Ah, you're finally awake.
This is like the body of a like kind of like Lauren human hybrid, where it's like you can see the kind of place where the skin tone shifts, and kind of looks over this kind of pale figure.
What's your name?
I'm tired.
I write that down. I'm in no room to judge, posing as Mr. Do We Have To?
The doctor says, this is someone who died of old age, therefore likely this is simply a reflection of how they were feeling when they were last alive.
Noted. I add that to the notes. Other than tired, how are you feeling?
No response.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Rather than go through all the little things, you start to go down this line. I'm going to say go ahead and seek solutions with mind. I'm going to do disadvantage because this is an incredibly difficult task that you don't really have the expertise to tackle. Unless you want to use examine, in which case you can use examine. I'm still going to give you disadvantage, but you can use examine instead of seek solutions.
Yeah, I'll probably use examine instead of seek solutions, but still at disadvantage. Get a different die out. All right, disadvantage. I mean, not that bad. 9. Sorry, math is hard.
Introduce a threat the subject presents. It might still be leveraged to your advantage. Now, this is about the fungus itself, not necessarily this fungal zombie. It's about what this thing does. You can introduce a new threat, because I didn't make this weird and creepy enough.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna help.
I know.
My answer, it would have been the same regardless, whether it was about the fungus or this. It's very aware.
Okay.
Of what's going on.
Yeah, so you're doing all these tests, and while it doesn't seem to be responding to you very well, you do notice that its eyes move like people's eyes, where does it thing where it like darts between which one's focusing, which means it's very clearly perceiving, it's very clearly hearing. It's like watching a child learn to speak for the first time in fast forward. So yes, it is very aware, and what everyone said about them so far seems to be the constant. They learn, for better or for worse. That's what they do.
I'm going to ask, do you recognize where you are? And I know I'm not talking to the person who inhabit, I know I'm talking to this life form on the planet.
It does not respond to you.
Can you raise one of the arms of this host?
It looks to you, but does not respond. You know it's hearing you. You know it's perceiving.
Yeah.
This takes some time as you kind of. It is not giving you the result you want in this. It's not like actively communicating backwards. But as you relate this to Dr. Linto about what it's like that it's learning, Doctor says, interesting. Typically, I don't keep them active for terribly long because their actions can become erratic. But if you believe that it is learning and will be able to communicate with us as it does, it may be best to perhaps provide it with the means to learn so that we can communicate with it. We must keep this one active for longer.
I think it recognizes where it is.
It's never been... I see it has been here because the fungus has been here even if it has not had eyes to perceive.
Yes.
The question then...
Also part of why I wanted you to stop burning.
I see. You believe it is feeling more than just thinking. This is a hypothesis we have been unable to test thus far. We have been unable to see any evidence of the fungus feeling anything as use is made of it. This is after many studies. If your communicator starts to crackle, Ro, your voice can cut through.
So I just say,
Talon, you're hearing this
hello?
as well.
Is this thing working? Is this thing working?
Excuse me, Doctor. Yes, Ro. Hi. It's been so long since I've heard your voice.
Ethan, are you there? I believe Ethan's camera might have frozen. We may have lost him.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on. Talon isn't hearing. Oh, hello?
I'm talking. I can hear, but my camera's frozen. I don't know.
Turn your camera off and back on again. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Nope. Failed to start camera. Yay.
Cool. Well, we can hear you for now.
It did this before, and I had to restart Zoom to fix it.
Oh boy,
okay.
We only have 15 minutes left.
Yeah, I'll just won't be
audio.
on camera,
Audio
I guess.
only this time. For now, it's fine.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to. So where I am
Hello?
right now. Where I am right now is like in the in Kaladin's communication, like in a communication room in the bunker kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is Kaladin there?
Yes.
And
100%.
Is he listening closely?
Absolutely.
Is he
yes.
listening closely? Okay.
Yes.
All
He's not letting this go. He's not letting you have. He's very paranoid that people are going to at any point in time like raid his facility and try to destroy him. So he's 100% not going to let like communications go back to the servers without him listening to what it is. He has like a hand on a shutdown button if he needs it.
So I'm going to say, I have a potential way out off of this planet. However, I would very much like your input on the way that this is going. We may have an ally.
I have my own moral quandary as well.
I would like to just say that I'm sorry about what I did on Planet Arundi. I think I understand where you're coming from, bro. I think I understand. Carry on.
We can talk about that later, I say, because that's an old wound at this point.
Is everyone facing moral quandaries or epiphanies except for me? I'm here doing push-ups. I'm getting swole as hell. What's happening with you guys?
I am so glad to hear that, because at least somebody's life is going slightly over.
Oh, I'm not facing a moral quandary. I get it. I think.
In any event, how soon can you go to? And I described basically the area to get to the underground. The code is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get past all of the defenses and get down here. But you will need to grab climbing gear. I'm afraid I currently can't leave. Interestingly, I say, looking straight at Kaladin, the potential source of leaving this planet probably won't let me leave. Which
That is ironic.
It is quite
That
ironic.
is very ironic. That is
Yes.
textbook ironic right there.
So yes, I might need you to come down here so that we can reach an entente.
How?
Can,
So I'm
can
studying
they hear
the
us right now,
fungus.
Ro? What's all
Yes.
this about fungus?
Oh,
I'll
you have
tell
no
you
idea.
later. I'll tell you later.
Yes,
But-
we can discuss that when you get here. I have such things to show you.
Oh, I've got things to show you, my friend. But I'm in the middle.
I've got nothing to
of-
show anyone. I feel left out.
Well, you have your moral quandary, right? That's something, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Ro, how
I
soon?
got the cool translator I made, I guess.
Dude, that's actually that would be so fucking helpful. Anyway,
Wait, hold on. Talon, you said that you had one of those translators working?
I built my own.
I'm wondering if they have their own language that we can't hear. I say to myself, like kind of muttering.
A glance over shows that
Oh.
Kaladin was already thinking, like he heard that, and you see him like the gears are turning now.
Oh, thank you, Ro. I don't know when I'm gonna be down there.
Well, don't leave
I
me
could be
down here
down there
forever. It's creepy as
I
hell.
can be down there pretty fast.
Yeah, I'll get down there when I can. You just
Are
gave
you
me
in
an idea.
Are you
No,
in
I'm
trouble?
not in trouble. So
I'm
with
shocked.
the
Like, happy,
I'm with
but
the
shocked.
doctor. Well, caveat, I'm not in trouble yet. Give me a few minutes though, and I'm sure that'll change.
And somehow Ro's the one the one in trouble right now. That's a first.
It was his turn with the trouble stick.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if I'll be down there because I'm studying the fungus with the doctor, and we're working on a way to try to communicate with it. Well, it understands us, I think. We're trying to see if it can communicate back, but you just gave a brilliant idea.
All right, Talon. You meet me down here. I don't think that you'll need the climbing gear. I mean, you're pretty adept at going
No,
up and
I'm
down
good.
walls.
Talon, can you swing by where I'm at though first and drop off one of those translators? Because I don't have one here.
I mean, I only have the one right now.
Okay,
I was
Talon,
working on
you two deal with
building
that.
more, but
Deal with
I was-
that.
that's where the moral
get
quandary
Halcyon.
came in.
Yeah, you deal with that. Get Halcyon down here, and I can hold out for now. I pull the communicator away from myself, and I say to Kaladin, I'm like, I'm afraid that I will have to impinge upon your hospitality for a short while, if that's okay. I would love to discuss more.
Suits me fine. You hear
Question.
I put the thing back on.
If you can't leave where you are and we come down, will we be allowed to leave as well?
I am hoping that once we all sit down together and discuss our options, that leaving together might be a possibility. I'm
Put
sorry.
it to you this way, Captain. We're
I just
all
want to
gonna
point out,
leave
Josh,
together.
that L is in the chat.
I
You
just
heard
saw
me.
that, and the timing couldn't be better. The timing couldn't be better. Sorry, what was that, Halcyon?
One way or another, Captain, we are all going to be leaving together. Right? Right.
In the background of the
plans.
communicator, you hear the doctor saying, "I don't understand. No one's ever managed to leave this place. What are you talking about?" Like the doctor just like trying to chime in with one side of a conversation that she had just heard.
I've got to talk to some plants. See you in a bit, Talon.
Fungus aren't plants.
This is where I'm at. Mycelium, fungi, what? Non-humans. but they
None of
inhabit
us are
the
human.
host of a body of a humanoid.
We're all non-humans.
Well, you know what a humanoid. You know what I mean. Person, individual. But they can. Fun fact: the fungus can inhabit the host of an individual.
Yes, I am aware of that. I say, looking out at the vast sea of these hosts. Yeah, I gotta piece that together. Yeah,
With like a parasite or something?
quite similar.
Sort of. Quasi parasite. It's
What does the person think about all that?
well, they're dead,
Oh,
but the fungus is smart. It's very intelligent.
it makes like fungus zombies?
That's what I said.
Sort of.
Zombies?
No, we're not going to
Sort of.
portmanteau this. I
I
refuse
agree
to
with
portmanteau
Ro.
this.
These fungal zombies. I agree with Ro on this one wholeheartedly.
That's such a mouthful. I like zombies.
That's not no.
At least workshop
That's
it on
only
your
you,
way
Tom.
here.
But these fungal zombies, they might not only take over the host, but they might actually retain some of the host's memories.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
The specimen we got, the individual died of old age, and the first thing it said, and the only thing it said was, "I'm tired."
Big
so,
mood.
I was about to
Right?
say the same thing, Ro. You beat me by like 2 seconds.
So, but the translator idea is the fungus is intelligent, it's smart. Even though it can't communicate to me, I can tell that it is aware of its surroundings. So, also, try and avoid taking any of like that fungal medicine. I've got a bad
It's fungal medicine? What?
just avoid it. If somebody else
I
is
lock myself in my room for one day.
You mean the medicine you
already took?
Correct. But
Great.
in my defense, that was before
You read the
I
fine
knew
print.
more about it. Yes. I was told this is medicine, and I said, I need medicine.
Honestly, Talon, I
So-
think that you locking yourself in the room for the day was probably the most forward momentum that we've had in our quest to leave this place. So I wanted to thank you for that.
You're very welcome. I always do what I can.
You do.
Fun
You do.
guys. How's that? Fun guys.
No, that's
That's
Oh,
worse.
oh,
That's
worse.
so much worse.
no. You're trying to pluralize something that's already plural. That's not how that works, Talon.
They're not fun. At all. Believe me. I say, kind of like looking at my tattered, like, my tattered suit. Like, they're definitely not fun. All right, I am going to have to leave you. You guys hurry up with what you're doing and get down here as soon as you can.
Yes.
This isn't, I want to make this clear, this isn't a hostile situation yet. Please do not make it so. Just saying. There are certain people who I hope they're doing okay. You know, I hope they're on their good path of recovery. Should perhaps not be coming with you. Just saying.
Don't bring gammon. Got it.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it out loud in case he was on the line, but
I think he's bedbound at this point. He took
that reminds me, how is he being treated? And is he being treated with the fungus?
Fuck.
Because if, and I don't want to give any kind of, bad thoughts out into the universe.
Then
If
don't say
anything
anything.
we all thought the same thing. Okay, good. I'm glad.
Fungies.
Halifax says,
Look, it sounds like we have some doing to get done. So let's get moving. Everyone, do what you have to do. Tell on if you've made a decision. Do your thing. If not, I guess we're jumping on Rose train. But let's keep working. Let's keep moving. Let's get off this planet.
Right.
All right. So, you guys can sort of let's pass some time. Who's going where?
I guess I'm going to find Hal first.
Okay. Let's assume so you have one translator. Are you dropping it off with Hal?
No, I think the idea was that he goes, they use it together, and then they come see me.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're going to do that scene and move forward. We're gonna have to do that next week, I think, or 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
2
weeks from now is the 2nd.
Yeah, so we should be okay.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to think that getting off this planet will be the last thing you guys do before we have to take an extended hiatus. This one seems to keep getting bigger rather than getting towards a resolution, but we'll see. You guys have had a track record of being a 3 sessions per planet. We'll see if that breaks next time or not. But otherwise, let's do a quick end of session wrap up. So if you don't care about the rule stuff, you can go now. If you want to see how the crew advances, stick around for another minute or two. What's the worst that's going to happen? Let's just go through the XP triggers. I trust you all. No, let's go through one at a time because I think sometimes you guys disagree with certain things that I do. So starting with Row, XP triggers. Carried your burden for good or ill. Yes.
That one definitely, yes.
You suffered a loss, a defeat, or a setback.
Yes,
also
absolutely.
Yes.
I am super trapped.
Claimed a victory for yourself in the ship.
Not yet.
Not yet. Championed an ally and let them shine.
That one, the whole communicator thing, I'm hoping is going to come out, but not yet.
All right, so 2 for now.
Unless you're willing to give it to me, but otherwise.
No,
not yet.
If you had intentionally, if your point of coming down there was to help Esnog escape, I would give it to you. But that was a side effect, so I'm going to say it.
Today was a very split party, so I don't think any of us really championed each other yet.
Yeah,
we were all on our own side missions.
Yeah.
I think that I don't think anyone's got that one. It's true. It's a good point. So
it's a beautiful system. Cool. All right, Talon.
I'm on 7.
Carried
my burden.
You haven't yet. It was presented. You didn't carry it, I don't think. Yeah. If you had chosen to go along with that, either by rejecting it or by but you're sort of in stasis. You haven't really touched that yet.
That's fair.
Suffered a loss, a defeat, or a setback? Yes. You had a setback for sure. Claimed a victory for yourself in the ship? Not yet. Championed an ally and let them shine? Also not yet.
Vexius?
Ooh. I'll allow that.
That's a good point. Yeah,
you guys don't know what Vexius is up to, but you did at least give him an in, so there's progress being made there.
Yeah. Cool. Action at 9.
Halifax, alas, we will have to skip for now. So that's that. And Halcyon. Carried your burden for good or ill?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Suffered a loss, a defeat, or a setback?
Nope.
No, not this time.
No, things went pretty well for you, actually, this time around.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Claimed a victory for yourself in the ship?
Not yet.
Not as of yet, no. And
lots of setup.
Lots of setup. This is a big setup episode. And championed an ally and let them shine? No. Made a friend, but did not champion an ally. Cool. So one experience. Yeah, this was the setup episode. Next week is going to be an adventure, I'm sure, or 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And it's 5 experience to advance, right? The first time.
Yeah, and then 6 experience for the next one, and 7, and so forth.
Okay.
Although that's still very much up in the air because I don't know if that's like a good advancement speed or not.
Right. All right. Well, cool. Thanks everyone who was hanging out today. I feel like we had a nice crowd in the chat today. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. We'll be back in 2 weeks. So the reason we're, for those who don't know, talking about going on a hiatus is it sounds like we're going to have to do that when I go on my travels, but also the world is changing and COVID is weird and who knows what could happen. So keep tuning in every 2 weeks for now, and we'll see how it all shakes out. But I would love to find ways to keep this going as time goes on. Hopefully our whole crew should be back together. Elle should be able to join us as your fearless captain, so I don't need to roleplay as them anymore. Anyone else have any other announcements before we go?
No.
All right. Well, everyone, have a happy belated Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Solstice, and Kwanzaa, and so on and so forth. Happy New Year, because it's all going to happen before we see you again next. May it be a lovely one. Thank you I've seen 2 first-time viewers in the chat, so thank you guys so much. Just a quick heads up, again,
subs.
before yes, a few subs, guys. Awesome, we really appreciate it. If you want to learn more, type !recap and we'll give you a recap. If you want to be a part of the community so you're alerted on information, you can type !Discord, which will link you to our Discord channel where we make announcements and you can discuss the game and stuff like that. You can also, if you're a streamer, you can push your own streams there as well. We have a little channel you can do that. But we're always happy to answer questions. For those who, again, new and don't know, Sean Gomes is the creator of the system, so if you have questions, he would be delighted to field them.
Yes, absolutely. And
no compliment. No compliment.
Yeah, no. I don't take well to compliments. You have to sandwich them between criticisms.
Yes.
I will be trying to post regularly again. It's been a while since I've written the rules, but I regularly post just freely available PDFs of my work in progress of the system. So if you're into like role-playing games in general and just like reading, I mean, I've got a entire collection of role-playing books that I'll never actually play, don't we all? If you're into seeing like how the writing process goes and that kind of thing, please, by all means, I will be posting it in Discord as well, like links to the latest PDFs. I just haven't done so in the last little while because of personal reasons, but I'm hoping over the holidays I'll be able to get back into writing again. And I will say, Josh, thank you so much for running these things. It gets me going. It gets me going of like, right, I need to keep working at this because people play it. So
it is my absolute
You're
pleasure.
playing it.
I do take a lot of compliments, so lay 'em on. But also I'm going to give you a punch in the gut right now because as I've said, I know you know this about me, but Uncharted Worlds is my favorite tabletop system. I know I've said that to you before, so it means the world to be able to help develop its sequel. So it goes both ways. Everyone, Sean's great. Y'all are great. Thank you guys for watching. Tell your friends so they can join in next time. And stay tuned. Depending on how it goes, I know we've talked about this and haven't had a time recently, but we may squeeze in like off-week episodes that are not this storyline but are still in the system. So if you want to swing by, just always check the Discord. We'll always let you know what's going on. You guys are great. Tell your friends, and I will see you guys when I see you guys. Take care of yourselves.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm waving, but my camera can't see me.
I don't believe you. You're not waving.
He's not waving.
I'm waving
his hand.
so hard right now.